thought you knew about history was a lie? What if myths weren't just stories, but fragments of a forbidden truth, buried to keep us from questioning our past? Across ancient civilizations, from the Bible to Norse sagas, one unsettling pattern keeps emerging: giants. Not as metaphorical figures, but as real, physical beings who once roamed the earth. The deeper you dig, the stranger it gets. Could giants in the ancient world, the forbidden truth behind myth and history, be more than just legend? For centuries, reports of giant skeletons have surfaced, only to mysteriously disappear. Megalithic structures, too massive for ordinary humans to construct, still defy explanation. Ancient texts speak of wars between gods and giants, of lost civilizations erased from history, and of knowledge too dangerous to be remembered. But here's the question: why does mainstream history refuse to acknowledge any of it? What are they afraid we might uncover? Think about it: if giants were real, that would mean history as we know it is wrong. That humanity's origins might not be what we were told. That ancient civilizations knew something we don't. Something so powerful it had to be erased. And yet, the stories persist. The evidence refuses to stay buried. And the more you question, the clearer it becomes. Someone doesn't want you to know the truth. In this video, we're going to uncover the lost history of giants, the artifacts they left behind, and the cover-ups that keep their existence in the shadows. We'll explore ancient texts, shocking discoveries, and the eerie connections between giants and lost civilizations. But be warned, once you see the evidence, you'll never look at history the same way again. So, were giants real? Or is this just another story twisted by time? Stay with me, because what we're about to reveal might just change everything you thought you knew about the past. The giants of ancient texts, myths, or lost history. What if the myths of giants weren't just stories, but fragments of a lost reality? Across the ancient world, civilizations that never interact at all tell eerily similar tales: beings of colossal size, walking among humans, wielding knowledge and power beyond imagination. The Nephilim of the Bible, the Titans of Greece, the Jötnar of Norse legend, the deities of Hinduism. If these stories were just myths, why do they repeat across continents, separated by vast oceans and centuries of history? Could giants in the ancient world, the forbidden truth behind myth and history, be more than just legend? The Bible describes the Nephilim, hybrid offspring of divine beings and human women, as mighty warriors, giants of the ancient world. They were said to be wiped out by the Great Flood, erased from existence. But the Book of Enoch, an ancient text mysteriously left out of the Bible, claims these giants possessed forbidden knowledge, secrets of the universe that vanished with them. If they were mere myth, why would such stories be systematically excluded from mainstream history? What if their existence threatened everything we've been taught? In Greek mythology, before the gods of Olympus ruled, there were the Titans, immense, powerful beings who shaped the very fabric of reality. They weren't just warriors, they were the architects of the world itself. When Zeus led a rebellion against them, the Titans were cast into Tartarus, an abyss so deep that it was said to be as far below the earth as the heavens are above it. But here's something to think about: why does this theme repeat across cultures? Why do so many ancient stories describe gods overthrowing an older race of giants? Could these myths be echoes of a real, lost civilization, one that predated even the earliest recorded history? Hindu mythology speaks of the Rakshasas and Daityas, massive, godlike beings who waged war against the Devas, gods. Some were monstrous, others wise and noble, but all were depicted as larger than life. The Ramayana tells the story of Ravana, a 10-headed, supernaturally gifted ruler of Lanka, who controlled powerful flying chariots and divine weaponry. Were these simply metaphors, or did they hint at a technologically advanced race lost to time? In the frigid lands of the north, Norse mythology describes the Jötnar, primordial beings who existed before the gods themselves. They weren't mere brutes, they were ancient and wise, with knowledge of the cosmos beyond even Odin, the Allfather. Odin himself sought the wisdom of Mimir, a giant who guarded a well of infinite knowledge. This connection between giants and forbidden wisdom repeats again and again across cultures. Why? Could it be that these giants were more than just legend? Could they have been the last remnants of an advanced race, their knowledge erased along with them? But here's the real question: how do civilizations separated by thousands of miles, with no contact, describe giants in nearly the same way? Either this is one of the greatest coincidences in human storytelling, or something deeper is hiding beneath the surface. And if giants were real, where did they go? The answer might not be in mythology, but in archaeology, where strange discoveries suggest a history that mainstream scholars refuse to acknowledge. The archaeological anomalies: did giants really exist? Legends are one thing, but what happens when the ground itself begins to reveal a different story? For centuries, whispers of giant skeletons have surfaced across the world, bones so massive they defy logic. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, newspapers across North America, Europe, and Asia reported discoveries of human-like remains measuring between 7 to 12 feet tall. Farmers, explorers, even military expeditions stumbled upon these anomalies, only for them to mysteriously disappear soon after. If these were just misinterpretations, why do these reports appear so consistently across different continents? And more importantly, why does the evidence keep vanishing? One of the most chilling legends comes from Lovelock Cave in Nevada. The Paiute people tell stories of red-haired giants, towering beings who terrorize their ancestors. According to oral tradition, the Paiute united to trap these giants inside a cave, setting it ablaze to end their reign. When archaeologists excavated the site in the early 1900s, they reportedly found oversized human skulls, giant tools, and sandals measuring 15 inches long. But here's the strange part. Many of these artifacts disappeared into private collections, and the skeletons? Gone. Was this just another exaggerated myth? Or was evidence deliberately erased? Then there's the mystery of megalithic structures, monuments so massive that even modern engineers struggle to explain them. Take Göbekli Tepe, a site in Turkey that predates Stonehenge by over 6,000 years. The sheer size of its megaliths suggests builders of extraordinary strength, or an advanced knowledge of engineering lost to time. In Baalbek, Lebanon, sits the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, a single 1,200-ton stone block that even today's strongest cranes would struggle to move. And let's not forget the Olmec colossal heads of Mesoamerica, massive stone sculptures, some over 10 feet tall, depicting distinctly non-native facial features. Who built these? And more importantly, were they built for giants? And here's where things take a darker turn. Why do reports of giant skeleton discoveries always end in disappearance or dismissal? Countless cases exist where locals claim to have uncovered enormous bones, only for the artifacts to be swiftly confiscated or dismissed as misidentified. Skeptics argue these are simply fossils of prehistoric animals or elaborate hoaxes, yet the pattern remains unchanged. Even Smithsonian records hint at hundreds of giant skeletons being uncovered in the US alone, yet any attempt to verify their existence leads to dead ends, missing documents, or flat-out denial. If there was nothing to hide, why the secrecy? The deeper you dig, the stranger the connections become. Ancient texts describe wars between gods and giants, lost civilizations, and secrets erased from history. If even a fraction of these discoveries are legitimate, they challenge the entire mainstream narrative of human history. What if giants weren't just legends, but evidence of an ancient, advanced race lost to time? And if so, what else is being hidden from us? Maybe the answer doesn't just lie in ancient ruins, it lies in who controls history itself. But to truly understand the forbidden truth about giants, we have to go even further, into the mystery of lost civilizations and their shocking connection to these colossal beings. The forbidden connection? Giants, lost civilizations, and ancient knowledge. If giants were real, could they have been more than just towering brutes? Ancient texts don't just describe them as warriors or monsters, they often depict them as holders of forbidden knowledge, beings with wisdom beyond human comprehension. But here's the unsettling part. This pattern repeats across multiple ancient civilizations. What if these giants weren't just myths, but survivors of a lost, highly advanced civilization, one that mainstream history refuses to acknowledge? Giants in the ancient world. The forbidden truth behind myth and history might just be the key to understanding our past. Take the Anunnaki, the so-called gods of Sumerian mythology. According to ancient Mesopotamian texts, these celestial beings descended to Earth, bestowing knowledge upon humanity. But here's the eerie part. Many depictions show them as towering figures, far larger than ordinary humans. Some researchers speculate that the Anunnaki weren't gods at all, but an ancient race of giant rulers. Could their legends be distorted memories of real beings who walked the earth, ruling over early civilizations? If so, where did they go? And why would history be rewritten to erase them? Then there are the countless Native American legends of giants. The Cherokee, Comanche, and Hopi tribes all share chillingly similar stories, encounters with enormous beings, some benevolent, others terrifying. Many of these myths describe how these giants were eventually destroyed or driven underground, as if history itself was trying to erase their existence. The Sioux spoke of the Wakandagi, powerful spirits who roamed the lands before humans. Why do these stories sound so much like the myths of the Nephilim, the Titans, and the Jötnar? Were all these cultures describing the same lost race? And then there's Atlantis and Lemuria, two legendary civilizations that many believe existed before recorded history. Some theories suggest that these lost worlds were inhabited, or even ruled, by giants. Ancient depictions of Atlanteans often show them as taller, stronger, and more intelligent than ordinary humans. The Book of Enoch even suggests that the Nephilim, giant beings of divine origin, were responsible for spreading forbidden knowledge before their catastrophic downfall. If giants were linked to these lost civilizations, could that explain why history seems so intent on burying their existence? But it's not just myths, there's physical evidence too. Scattered across the globe are mysterious artifacts that seem to support the theory of ancient giants. Massive stone thrones, giant-sized doorways, and oversized tools have been found in regions where giant legends are strongest. Who were these built for? Some researchers believe these remnants hint at a forgotten golden age, a time when giants walked among men, sharing their wisdom. But if that's true, what happened to them? Were they wiped out by a great cataclysm? Or was their existence deliberately erased? And that brings us to the biggest question of all. What if giants were real, and their knowledge was erased because it threatened the accepted version of history? If they were linked to lost civilizations, what else has been hidden from us? And more importantly, who benefits from keeping this truth buried? The deeper we look, the more we uncover a disturbing pattern of suppression and cover-ups. But is this just ancient history being rewritten? Or is there an ongoing effort to silence the truth even today? Maybe the answer lies not just in the past, but in modern cover-ups, cases where history was altered, artifacts were hidden, and the truth was deliberately erased. And if that's true, who is behind it? Modern cover-ups and theories, what they don't want you to know. If giants were real, where did they go? And more importantly, why does history go to such great lengths to erase them? It's one thing for ancient myths to describe giants. It's another for physical evidence to repeatedly vanish before reaching public knowledge. Giants in the ancient world. The forbidden truth behind myth and history suggests that these beings may have held knowledge or power that directly challenged the established narrative. And if that's the case, then who is responsible for keeping this truth hidden? One of the most controversial theories involves the Smithsonian Institution. For over a century, alternative historians and researchers have claimed that the Smithsonian played a direct role in the disappearance of giant skeletons. In the 1800s and early 1900s, newspapers across the United States published numerous reports of massive humanoid skeletons being unearthed. Many of these discoveries were documented at the time, only for the remains to be confiscated, dismissed as hoaxes, or simply never seen again. If these were just misinterpretations, why would there be so many reports, from so many different locations, all leading to the same dead end? Then there's the government angle. Why does any mention of giant remains immediately trigger ridicule or outright denial? If these skeletons were simply prehistoric animal fossils or elaborate hoaxes, why the need for aggressive censorship? Some researchers argue that acknowledging the existence of giants would shatter conventional anthropology, rewriting not just human history, but also our understanding of evolution and civilization itself. Could this be why these discoveries never reached the public eye? And it's not just about skeletons. What about modern encounters? In 2002, a chilling story emerged from Afghanistan, what is now known as the Kandahar Giant Incident. According to the account, a U.S. military unit in the mountains of Kandahar encountered a red-haired, 13-foot humanoid with 6 fingers on each hand and double rows of teeth. The soldiers reportedly engaged in combat with the being, ultimately killing it, only for the body to be immediately transported to an undisclosed U.S. military facility. The story was swiftly dismissed, labeled a fabrication, but those who claimed first-hand knowledge never retracted their accounts. Here's the real question. Why does history treat giants as nothing more than fairy tales, despite the overwhelming number of reports, artifacts, and unexplained anomalies? If giants were just a myth, the discussion would have ended centuries ago. But instead, evidence keeps surfacing, only to disappear. Documents go missing. Skeletons vanish. Discoveries are dismissed without thorough examination. Who benefits from suppressing this knowledge? And this raises an even bigger concern. What else has been buried with them? If giants once coexisted with early humans, did they possess knowledge, technology, or abilities that could challenge everything we know? Could their existence be tied to lost civilizations, forbidden history, or even knowledge that could rewrite the past? One thing is clear. The deeper you dig, the more questions arise. And the biggest question of all? If the truth about giants has been erased, what else has been hidden from us? Maybe this isn't just about ancient history. Maybe it's about controlling what we believe is possible. And if giants were real, what else have we been lied to about? Final thoughts and call to action. So, were giants real? Were they part of a lost chapter in human history, deliberately erased from our collective memory? Or is this just another legend, distorted by time? One thing is certain, the stories refuse to die. From ancient texts to unexplained discoveries and modern cover-ups, the clues are everywhere. Giants in the ancient world. The forbidden truth behind myth and history isn't just a mystery of the past, it's a question that could redefine everything we think we know. But here's the real question. Why does this topic make so many people uncomfortable? If giants were purely fictional, why go through so much effort to erase them? What if the reason we're told giants are just myths is because their existence would shatter our understanding of history, evolution, and even the origins of humanity itself? And if this truth was buried, what else is being hidden from us? Think about it. If civilizations separated by oceans and millennia describe the same towering beings, is that just a coincidence? Or is it proof of something deeper, something carefully hidden beneath layers of myth and misinformation? Skeptics will say there's nothing to see here, but the evidence, the disappearances, the patterns, all point in one chilling direction. Someone doesn't want us to know the truth. And here's where you come in. What do you think? Were giants real? Were they rulers of lost civilizations, keepers of forbidden knowledge, or something even more mysterious? Let me know in the comments below. Your opinion matters, because the more we question, the closer we get to the truth. But this is just the beginning. If you want to keep uncovering the secrets they don't want you to know, subscribe to Ancient Chronicles and turn on notifications. There's so much more hidden in the depths of history, waiting to be exposed. Because sometimes, the greatest secrets aren't lost. They're just waiting for the right people to uncover them.